Hello, everyone. Welcome to LOCKBEARD Phenomena number 33, Nomads. It is Saturday, February 26th, 2022. How's everyone doing? So, this question came up on Pat's show last night. Again, it comes up every so often. I've mentioned some stuff about it um, a number of times in the past, I think. Um, the speculation about whether or not Sasquatch migrates or stays put. Um, the reality is we don't have enough data. I mean, really, to say anything for certain. But we can make some guesses. The because as I said before, these things are human. They're not distantly related to us by far. Um, our closest relative is a chimpanzee. Does not have an upright stance. Um, does not have feet anywhere near because they have an opposable thumb on their foot still. So looking at Sasquatch footprints, that foot is so close, so much closer to ours. People try to point to these little differences here and there, and have a hard time believing that Sasquatch could actually be the same species as us. They're just a big, hairy race of people. Um, but that's what I'm going with as far as part of the reason why I want to say that Sasquatch migrating is not something that is out of the question at all. Humans have a long history of nomadic behavior. The development, the things that happened after the Younger Dryas impact kind of took us out of that behavior for the most part. But there are still peoples today that engage in it, moving from place to place, a regular route, a regular migration. They have a camp in this area and then a camp in this other area, and they would go back and forth between the two, or maybe more than two. Many lesser species do this. So to say that Sasquatch, it doesn't require any intelligence really to do it. It's beyond something like normal animals do just instinctually. Um, so, but because humans have done it and Sasquatch appears to be extremely close to the same thing we are, there's no reason to think that they don't move around. And they have the extra bonus of their intelligence level above animals that just do this by instinct. So then the question comes up, well, you know, how far can they go um, without being seen? There's areas that maybe they can't cross, and I would say no, that's not true. um, because as you saw in the thumbnail, I had a map of the river systems of North America. That's the Sasquatch Highway. Let's see, people are starting to pop up in chat. Welcome everybody. We got Sandra, welcome. Scotty, Angel Nolan, welcome to you all. I'm sure YouTube is not being very good about sending notifications. That YouTube is definitely trying to slow me down. But hopefully the notification's gone out. Of course, most people on the Lockbeard channel aren't subscribed onto this channel, so what are you gonna do? Let's see here. Angel says, would they follow the food sources such as deer, elk, etc.? I don't see why not. Other animals do it. Humans have done it. I don't see why not at all. Um, so look at this. A lot of people, because the sightings of Sasquatch, there's kind of a barren area for sightings right down the middle of this map. The Great Plains area, is not as much cover and all that. So, a lot of people feel like that's just so this is kind of like a barrier to the Sasquatch. I don't think it's a barrier at all, because if you go along these rivers, next to the river, there's that area is all overgrown. It's not suitable for building. It's zoned out because it's flood zone. Game are using these areas to move through up and along the river systems, and I think Sasquatch would do the same thing. May do the same thing. It's hard to say. Maybe not all clans do the same thing, but I think that there is a very good possibility that there's a lot more interconnectivity of the Sasquatch peoples on this continent than many people believe. So you see on this map, that's the Missouri, or I'm sorry, it's the Mississippi River watershed, but the Missouri River is one I'm going to talk about a little bit. Because this map is a little distorted. It's stretched outside the side, but don't let that bother you. As you can see, if a Sasquatch people use this as corridors to travel, they could move along these river systems all the way up into Montana from Louisiana or from Pennsylvania. They could come down the Ohio, and then up to Missouri, and end up in Montana and up in the mountains. Or they could go through Colorado, go up the South Platte River, or whatever they need to do. Arkansas River, the Arkansas River, the Canadian River through Oklahoma. They can move through these areas. Shouldn't be a problem. And so there's been some speculation. Well, how fast can they move? Well, that's hard to say. I mean, a lot of accounts say that they're very fast, but who's to say they're going to move at high speed at all times? Probably going to walk at a steady pace most of the time. But they're also going to have to take it slow to try and stay elusive, because they're very elusive, right? They stay out of sight. So why would they migrate? The food, but another subject was brought up of DNA, genetics, getting too interbred and stuff like that. I don't think that's a problem. See, because humans did this all the time, where they would trade females. They would trade females. They moved around, they were nomadic, and they would trade females. So who's to say that the Sasquatch don't take females on a trip to trade them and go long distances to do it? Maybe they know dang good and well it's good to trade females, or maybe it's just something as simple as they're just excited to get new females is exciting to them for some reason. No. any male of any species is going to be excited at the prospect of new breeding stock, right? It's just the nature of the beast. It's probably an instinctual thing for most anything out there. So let's see here. So that's the whole Mississippi drainage area. Here's the part you can see this is the Missouri River watershed coming from. It doesn't have it labeled up there, kind of under where it says Montana. Below that a little bit and to the right, you can see where it's a highlighted the river. That's where it comes up there, and there's Three Forks to go, and there's a place called Three Forks there, and that's where the Missouri River starts. And as you can see, it's clearly in the mountains. And it goes all the way down there and joins up at the Mississippi River at St. Louis, or close to St. Louis, on the eastern border of Missouri. That would give them a travel route across the Great Plains region, all that open area that a lot of people feel they can't hide. I think they could still hide in those areas. It's just not as easy, and they don't frequent them other than to pass through. So who's to say? In the spring, maybe a couple of males in the clan take whatever females that they want to trade off, come up from Missouri, up the Missouri River, up into the mountains, and maybe there's a place that they routinely meet once a year to make these trades. And not just for that, though, there could be other reasons, just so they can hunt new areas for a while as they travel and exchange information. These people probably, one of their biggest topics of conversations are their interactions with us. Near misses, I got seen, it was a bad deal, this is how I messed up, this is something you may want to consider to try and improve your ability to avoid being seen by humans. It's probably a big conversation for them. And in that clan, once they drop off somebody's sister up there and pick up and get somebody else's sister out of the mountains there, and they come back down, and now you have your gene flow, right? You're not going to have inbreeding because they're trading females, which is not a remotely far-fetched possibility, just not at all, especially if they're human or at least near human intelligence. So this stretch of river, the Missouri River, um, I forget the length of it, but I was figuring that if they were to move 25 miles a day, they could make that trip in in 3 months. So potentially, maybe a clan, a group of them leave the clan for that to go do this trip. The rest of the clan may stay behind. The whole clan may go, but it's possible that part of the clan does stay behind, and they just because they're less protected, or maybe they stay in more secluded areas during that time when they're split up. I don't know. This is all speculation, but perhaps they do. They leave the clan behind because they leave behind. Maybe they have an elder that can't make the trip. Maybe they don't want to take babies on this trip. So the majority of the clan stays behind. And this trip is taught from father to son, generation to generation. They know the route they take. Once a son has gone on a couple trips, he then leads trips, taking a younger brother with him and teaching the next one, or maybe taking his own son. maybe taking somebody else's son. There doesn't have to be uh, just a few males here. There could be dozens of males in the clan. So yeah, I think that there's some resistance to the idea that this is even possible, and I don't think that that's well, I didn't even switch the picture, but hold on a second. Let me switch the picture. Here we go. I didn't switch the picture, but there it is. Um, but yeah, I think it's possible, and I think it may be likely actually if they're human as I think they are. There's there's no that we could probably uh, it'd be a safe bet to say that they would exhibit a lot of the behaviors that we have for countless generations. Let me catch up and chat here. Uncle Bones here saying hi to everybody. Cindy's here. So hi everyone. Run late. Welcome, Cindy. Donald's here. Hello. Hello. Everybody getting their hellos in. Uh, Hopefully I didn't miss anything important. Sandra found you, Donald. Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome. Welcome to the backup channel. So, yeah. Let me see. There's another picture, but yeah, you can see that it's kind of a highlighted section there. That's the Missouri River. Um, Moving 25 miles a day up the river would take about 3 months, and I don't think anyone would challenge that a Sasquatch could move that that amount of distance in the day just fine. Coming downriver, it wouldn't be near as hard, right? They could probably just jump in the river and float down a lot of that length. Now they're going to run into some issues, dams and stuff that humans do, but they can get around that stuff. They'll have to be sneaky and not be seen if they got to come out from the cover of the woods or the cover of the water, but they could do it. There's food. There will be food all along this river system. And they may not stick to the Missouri, right? They might take one of these other side tributaries and go to different places. There could be a very elaborate route, network of travel routes that they use. Maybe they get up into the mountains. Maybe the whole clan goes. They go. Maybe they make this whole circle every year. They start out in the spring in Missouri, come up the Missouri River system up into Montana, and they're in the mountains. Start moving south in the mountains throughout the summer, and then in the fall, maybe they get into the South Platte River and start moving back down towards Missouri. I mean, it's just, and then they end up overwintering in Missouri, where they're going to be a little warmer than it is in Montana, where they'll be at the beginning of the summer. Again, speculation, but I think it's perfectly possible. And the people saying that they don't think they could do this, I just don't think they're considering. These are intelligent, highly elusive people that seem to follow the rivers. We kind of know this, and there's no reason they can't cross the Great Plains using the river systems. Evening, all honk honk, says Prairie Fire. Honk honk. Welcome to everybody. Prairie Fire. Welcome. So, along these are some pictures from along the Missouri River. Squatch can hide in that just fine. I think this one is actually in the Dakotas somewhere. There's people boating there, but if Sasquatch wanted to move through the trees around this area, they could still do it and be elusive. Just do it at night, even if at daytime's just not acceptable for moving through. Again, I don't think anyone would deny that Sasquatch could move through this area, through the Great Plains, just fine because of the cover that exists around a river. So, yeah. But we can only speculate, right? We don't really know. The data, man. The data is a problem. We need a better data. It's going to be hard to get because if you haven't, let's say you're going to try and use accounts of sightings of Sasquatch. Now you got to sort out, okay, how do we know who's lying? How do we know who just made a mistake in identity? It's going to be real hard. It's going to be real hard. And we could give everybody a lie detector test and then only consider sightings from people who have been tested. But even then, that's not 100%. And that may, if the person legitimately believes they saw Sasquatch, they, even though they saw something else, mistaken identity, they're going to pass the lie detector test, and your data still isn't useful, right? So I just think we need to put to bed the entire resistance to migration. I'm not saying that they do or don't. I don't know. It's strictly speculation whether they do or not. But to dismiss the possibility, I don't think we should be dismissing the possibility. Especially looking at the morphology of them being absolutely human. As far as the best accounts that we got, the best video and pictures we got, absolutely human. The footprints, which I know a lot of people find this hard to wrap their mind around. They want to think it's a relic hominid, right? And I don't know if I made it clear. I reject the entire idea that there was ever any separate species from us in the hominid line, after we left Africa, and even before, really. But I don't want to push it too much. Humans were moving around too much. The gene interaction was too much. There was never enough geographic isolation to allow speciation to occur. All of those things they're calling separate species were not separate species. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. Including the Sasquatch people. They're just a big, hairy race of humans. But I may not, the actual scientific evidence that proves me right may not happen in my lifetime. That sucks because I would like to stand on the field of victory, please. but at least I'm documenting it here. No one can deny it. They could look back. I don't know that anyone else has said that. That Bigfoot is Homo sapiens, straight up human. Donald says, I have a similar theory for Sasquatch using whitetail as a meetup, or Whitehall as a meetup spot for Foots out of the Adirondacks, Vermont, Western Mass, and the Catskills. Yeah, there's just no reason to think that that's not possible. But you know, a lot of animals migrate and go to the same place year after year. The freaking salmon go up the same river they were born in, and that's just based on instinct. But we have Sasquatch here who doesn't just have instincts to work with, but has intellect, and they may, send out, maybe they got some young males. Part of their proving themselves valuable is that they have to go on scouting missions, and then maybe they say, look, we don't know if it's safe to go up and down this particular creek system here. You guys scout it out. You know, maximum stealth and see if it's safe for us to take the clan through there. And if so, is there anything on the other end of the creek? Is it start up in some mountains somewhere where that's worth us going to for food or to just to hide for a while or something. It's just so many things they could be doing. Highly coordinated, um, highly structured culture, based on finding uh, uh, safe, secretive routes to travel for food and to meet up with other clans of Sasquatch. Um, Humans did this kind of stuff forever. Like the clans all kind of interacted with each other. The tribes or whatever you want to call the groups. They would meet, they would trade, they would exchange information and exchange some females and maybe even exchange some males. They may even know that, hey, it's probably to benefit to get some new blood in through the males as well. They say, look, this guy here, he's nobody likes him anyway over here. um, Sanders says, thank you. Glad to see you too. To somebody, prayer fire. Um, Hope all's well with you. Scotty says, I'm well. Thank you, Prairie. Thanks, mate. Says Scotty, damn work. Angel says, Donald Fuller, I agree. Why stay where it hits -20 easily when the Champlain Valley is quite a bit warmer? Yeah. Because there's been talk, maybe they just moved down to lower elevations. And sure, they may do that in some areas. But I think that they're definitely capable and smart enough and can move the distances. Because we think of, oh gosh, it's going to take me 10 days to drive all the way across the country. Sasquatch is living in a whole different world here. To them, they're traveling on foot. That's what they do all the time. So the idea and what they're doing is important in their world, right? It's highly important, whatever their reason for traveling is. And dealing with the weather, because all we do is we go inside, we turn on a heater, we put on some clothes and some coats and stuff, and that they got to be out in this stuff, so they don't use fire, at least that hasn't been proven. So to take 3 months to travel up a river system, that's just their way of life. It's just their way of life. They may not be sedentary like we are. We didn't used to be sedentary like this, at least for the most part. and then we got stupid. It's not good for us. We're supposed to move around, but now not only do we stay in one spot when we do travel, we don't walk there. We get in a car and we drive there. It's not been good for our species. But they live in a whole different reality than we do, basically. Taking 3 months to travel up the Missouri River is not going to be a strange thing to them. It might be strange to us, but not to them. So they travel up in the spring. During the warmer months, the summer, they're in the mountains and they start moving towards the south, or maybe they just turn around and come back down and then come back down to the southern regions or warmer regions anyway. Maybe they don't go all the way south, but you know, they don't have to stop in Missouri. Maybe they go all the way down to Louisiana. I don't know. And once you're down to Louisiana, it's not really that big of a deal to if you're a migratory people, if you're nomadic, to go on and head to the east and end up in Florida or go into the Appalachians. You know, they're very slick. They've been able to hide from us very, very well. So I have no doubt that they would be able to pull this stuff off. But yeah, -20. You know, I don't think now that's being said, I've said the other side of this too is that I don't think -20 degrees is a problem for them at all because they their race is built to deal with that. Just look at them. Look at Patty. I mean, a lot of mass there and a lot of hair. She's built for being outside in the cold just fine. Um, Moose do this just fine. They live their life out there. They live in really cold areas in the tundra. The mastodons did that. That wasn't a problem for them. That's why they were these big, hairy things. And I talked about before how I think that the reason why the Sasquatch people started to become gigantic, they evolved towards that body plan, you know, that set of characteristics because they were in conditions that favored those those uh those evolutionary developments. That's why you had all these gigantic animals that were here, the woolly mammoth, the mastodon, the giant ground sloth. We had bigger bears. That are gone now, but bears that were bigger than freaking grizzlies. Um, just these massive, gigantic animals, and the conditions just favored the development of such animals. Now, there were still smaller things that because all the niches need to be filled, right? But some species started to fill that niche of the biggest, baddest things in the land because that's just what the conditions were. And since the, the Sasquatch race was here, I think they were damn sure here. Um, for a lot of that period of time, they started to develop into a gigantic form of human, and they got those characteristics. So, -20 degrees, I don't think it's a problem for them. Do they prefer that over, more milder temperatures? I don't know about that. They may decide, yeah, we can deal with this, or we know we can head south and find a little milder temperatures. They may not go down to the tropics or anything. I really doubt they're doing that. They still got to get through winter, but how harsh a winter do they actually deal with? But the data that could tell us this is looking at when and where sightings occurred, sightings that we can make that we can be sure are actually legit sightings. That's the problem with sightings. It's hard. Now, footprints, it might be a little easier because you have actual physical evidence there. And then if someone like Dr. Meldrum can, I'm saying if he can authenticate the print, if he's legit about this, that he can tell the difference between a fake print and a real one, then we might actually have some data to go off of. So what if we just looked at that and we said, okay, footprints that have been authenticated, okay, where were they and when? And now we got some data we might be able to work with. Cindy says, Scott Carpenter chat folks took offense that I rebuked Nephilim. Yeah. Well, let me put it this way. People who believe in the Nephilim, their opinion is completely worthless to me. I'm sorry. They're living in a fantasy world. And I deal with science and facts, and which is gonna sound weird to straight some of these scientists, these atheistic scientists, are like, how can you say that if you believe spirits are real? Well, because there's actual scientific evidence that proves they're real. And if you understand how the universe actually functions, go over to Ken Wheeler's channel where he explains metaphysics the right way. As Ken puts it, the crystal rubbers, he's like, you don't go to crystal rubbers. Look, they might know some things, but they don't know how shit works, right? They don't know the science of metaphysics. But unfortunately, most people with scientific education are not going to be open to even listening to this because most of them are so certain that there's no such thing as spirits. That's why I tell people, when you go to Ken's channel, I send you to Ken's channel because that's the best place I know of where you can go and learn how the universe actually works. He's got a passion for it. That's what his whole channel, well, a lot of what's on his channel is about teaching people. And it's going to take time. That's why I tell people it's going to take time. You're not just trying to understand what he's trying to teach you. You also have to deconstruct the brainwashing of mainstream science. Mainstream science, a lot of it's perfectly good, solid science, but there's certain areas where they're lacking. And Ken Wheeler's channel and his articles and his book can help you break that down. But at all times, keep challenging yourself. Am I thinking logically? Um, am I stuck in a box? Am I able to think outside that box? Am I able to confirm any of this stuff for myself? Find ways you can confirm it for yourself. Um, does it pass the test of logic? And you'll get there eventually. But the problem is like with quantum physics. I've talked quite a bit of shit about quantum physics. Most people don't understand quantum physics as it's taught, right? They don't understand it anyway. So sending them to Ken's channel is kind of a waste of time because, well, it may not be a waste of time. I don't know. They never had the interest to learn enough about quantum physics to actually understand the bullshit that those people are trying to push. I mean, of course, you're being sucked into a cult, but if you're learning quantum physics, you don't realize it. It sounds legit, like this is the best we know, and we got this scientific data, and this is what we think it means. And there's a whole bunch of people out there that think dark matter is an actual proven thing, and it's not. And if you ask these scientists, you like pigeonhole them. You got to get them tight. You got to get them back in the corner. They have to admit they haven't proven that dark matter exists or dark energy. They do not understand. They cannot actually explain magnetism or gravity, which are the same damn thing. Um, they don't understand that that they don't understand that like everything is one. You know, it's all perturbations in the ether, and it's really weird, and it's hard for because we're stuck in a reality where you have to be able to deal with things by pieces, and you're not thinking. Your thinking processes is just not set up to truly understand the reality. And that's not it's not a criticism, people. It's just the reality of the situation. It's just what we're not really, I'm not sure we're really meant to do this. We're supposed to exist in this reality and function within it appropriately until we die, and which is just the physical mass dying, and the signals that you were tuned into that were your real mind. They're still out there. You're everywhere. You're everywhere. You're not just here. It's just that this is a focus point and a filter and an antenna. Um, it's a lot to try and explain, but it can't be done. It can't be done here. It's not going to be done here. It's not going to be done here. You need hours and hours of Ken Wheeler's explanations and trying to learn and figure out. Uh, if I knew of another source, I'd tell you, but I don't know of anyone else that's because I was glad I finally ran across this guy because I was having some serious problems with some bullshit in mainstream science and their failure, complete and utter failure to explain some shit. They managed to stay pretty good and logical to an extent, and then shit starts going off the rails when you get into quantum physics. And then things go off the rails when you're dealing with when there's money involved, government power, um, egos, because scientists have egos, and things get all twisted. So, here I am. I'm trying to understand. You know, what the hell is this? What's going on here? And I'm coming to these other conclusions over here. I'm like, these guys are wrong about this shit. Why the hell they keep saying this? Why are they so sure this is right? You guys keep saying this shit and say, well, one day we're going to achieve grand unification, but you never freaking do. And if you analyze everything, you're like, damn, they can't achieve grand unification the way they got things lined out right now. They can't. They're wrong about some of this shit, and they are heavily invested in the story that they've told so far, and they just keep doubling down and every time and everything's got to be a particle. Everything's got to be a damn particle. They're all the time looking for the new particle that's going to explain something else, and no, dude, you guys got to stop. You got to think beyond. See, when you're thinking about particles, you're thinking physical. The universe isn't all physical, though. That's your problem. You're trying to make everything physical, and you're trying to use mathematics to force it to be physical, and it's not going to work. It's not going to work because the universe isn't all physical, or as Ken calls it, psychophysical. The psychophysical, this what you see in the mirror. As opposed to metaphysical, the what a lot of you will call the spiritual world or whatever you refer to it as. Brian says, wait, oh yeah, already the part. Brian and Chewy says, yeah, Donald, with all the ravines and water systems throughout the mountain ranges up here, lots of stealthy hidden spots untouched by man. Yeah, Yeah. And some of those places we may be able to get to just fine. It's just that we don't go there. There could be massive cave systems too that they are aware of because they're out there all the time, poking around everything. They know all the nooks and crannies. We don't. You know, a human walks through down a trail and they notice only a tiny fraction of what's around them. So they're the masters of the mountains. Chessboard says, hello, Lockbeard, and everybody else. Welcome, Chessboard. Welcome, Brian Chili. If I didn't say the welcome, thanks for coming, guys. Donald says, I quit Scott Carpenter the first time I saw the footage of the white floral he was claiming was a Bigfoot. Yeah, man. See, and people, yeah, we're never going to find out anything true if we keep entertaining these nonsense Bigfooters out there. And you know, I'm to the point where I think we need to just, and some people get all bent out of shape about this. When I say, look, if someone mentions something like mind speak in their account, I'm going to take that account and I'm going to set it over here. And maybe one day we decide mind speak has some more plausibility to it and we may give it another look. But until then, I'm going to focus on accounts that don't involve all the crazy shit. Mind speak, portals, freaking cloaking, all that crap. It's going on the back burner. I'm sorry, but you know, until you prove that any of that shit exists separate from Sasquatch, like, do we know portals exist? Forget Sasquatch. Do we know portals exist? But it's kind of interesting how this person's over here telling this story about a people, a forest people that we really haven't confirmed exist, and then they start throwing in this other fantastical stuff too. You know, it's starting to sound to me like they're just making up a story the way they either that's what they want to believe, so they're trying to support that belief or whatever. But those kind of accounts need to go over here. Or people just saying every freaking shadow in the bushes is a Sasquatch. Those pictures along that river there, hell, there may have been dozens of Sasquatch in there, but I don't see them. And I bet we could bring Zasky up in here, and he'll find all kinds of Sasquatch faces in the shadows. And but there, look, we gotta separate the. You know, someone brought up the phrase "wheat from the chaff." That was in a recent live stream. Gotta separate the wheat from the chaff. That's true. I mean, if you just want to hear crazy stories, you like ghost stories, well, go ahead and listen to that stuff. But there's some of us out here that are want to seriously understand the Sasquatch and what their true nature is, and discovery, um, proving they're real. I think proving them real will result in far better environmental protections as far as habitat protection. I'm not talking about freaking global warming bullshit. I'm talking about habitat protection because I feel like we are destroying too much natural habitat. We need to protect as much as we can. We need to stop all further destruction of natural habitat and start restoring as much as we can to its natural condition. We are taking over too much and destroying too much. I know some people say, oh, there's plenty of woods out there. According to you. But in nature, this was all natural. And then humans showed up and we start saying, well, we can take part of this and we can take a little more. And we can pave over all this area and put a bunch of parking lots and shopping malls and for roads everywhere. And I'm like, no, just hold up just a second. Humans didn't even start off on this continent. We have no right to 1 square inch of this continent from that perspective. I think we need to walk a lot lighter. We need to tread a lot lighter upon the land, and discovery of Sasquatch, I think, will result in that, regulation wise. That may piss some people off. I don't care. I don't care. I'm not that selfish. Humans have just we've just tried to take over everything on the damn planet, and it doesn't belong to us. And besides, this is going to be hurting. This is going to hurt us eventually. It's going to shoot us in the foot. We're going to end up destroying so much of nature that one day we're like, why are we all sick and dying? Well, it's because you destroyed the ecosystem upon which you rely for your own existence. The planet is sick because you freaking just kept hammering it, and now you wonder why you're sick too. You're part of the planet. I mean, I'm not trying to be a super tree hugger here, but damn, recognize the rights of the other life on this planet to exist. Um, Angel says to Brian, very true, as a majority of hikers never go off trail except maybe hunting season for a few. Yeah, yeah. And I totally think that Sasquatch people are fully aware. Okay, every year, the same time, these silly humans come out here with their boomsticks and start killing shit. And they're probably cool with it. They're like, look, everybody's got to eat. We get it, but now we got to like lay kind of low and keep an eye out for these silly humans. Sanders says, just shake it off, my friend. I was called closed minded and stuck because I don't believe in flat earth. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if we want to tear into flat earthers tonight. Those people have been hoodwinked all to hell, though. Hoodwinked all to hell. And they can't, if they fall, if you look, I'm sorry, flat earthers, if you fell for flat earth, you could not science your way out of a paper bag. Boom. And someone brought up, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna say who right now or where. I'm sure a lot of you were there. Brought up mud fossil. Holy shit! Those, look, if you fell for mud fossil, same thing. You could not science your way out of a paper bag. Those mud fossil folks, mud fossil university, all that bullshit, just complete nuts. They twist everything and try to make it it's all confirmation bias. They still fall for the dinosaur track thing, which we talked about before, and why it's bullshit. It's easy to see it's bullshit. You just got to take the time to look closer. And like, what was it? I think I did I think we talked about it a little bit. The human, so-called human tracks amongst the dinosaur tracks. And I think it was episode 5, called Young Earth. Lockbeard Phenomena, episode 5, Young Earth. Where I was saying, look, Young Earth is not true. I'm sorry if that's something you don't want to believe, but Brian says, thinking the same as well, Lockbeard. They are not far from us in the DNA, or should I say, we are not far from them. Too many encounters where people say it looked too human for me to shoot. Yeah. Yeah, some people try to bring up convergent evolution. They need to stop. I showed examples of actual convergent evolution here a while back, where I showed all the megafauna and stuff. I showed some examples of actual convergent evolution. What we're seeing here between us and Sasquatch, all those similar characteristics that we have, is in is differentiation within a species is all it is. I mean, as far as the differences go, it's just differentiation within a species. Um, the similarities, the combination of them shows that they're part of us. They're one of us. I think I've said before, uh, the differences between us and Sasquatch are less than the differences between a Saint Bernard and a Chihuahua. You look at a Saint Bernard standing next to a Chihuahua, and just think about it for a second. These are the same species. These two things are. um, Cindy says, Sandra, I'm okay. I didn't let them bring me down. Yeah. I would just not go back there. I mean, I hate to be like that, but you know what I mean? Just, you're not going to get logical thought there. Brian says, exactly, Angel. I hike a lot and my head is down looking where I step on the trail most of the time. Yeah, you don't want to, you want to keep an eye where you're stepping. You might hurt some poor snake, and then he'll have to reprimand you with a bite. Sandra says, yes, Cindy, yes, you are your own woman. Angel says, milder is teens along like Champlain, not tropical. Oh, yeah, yeah. Brian Chewy says, oh, Sandra, do not let them flat earth nuts bother you. You're a peach and one of the most respected people in all the chats. You get the name of them, and I will sick Chewy on them. Prairie Fire says, I second that, Brian. Um, Donald laughs at that. Sanders says to Brian, my, you are the sweetest thing. Thank you. And a welcome from him. Appreciation of Prairie Fire's kindness. Cindy says, Scott's chat folks said I needed to read the books that were not included in the canon. The Apocrypha is stories. Yeah, they always tell you need to go read this or watch this or look. If you need to poke your head down the rabbit hole to, you know, to satisfy your doubts, and do it, but I can tell you what time I've spent looking at the stuff just because I'm like, no, this don't sound right. But hey, you know what? I look at some of your shit. It's all a waste of time. I'm telling you, it's a waste of time. Flat Earth and the mud fossil people, they're just hucksters. They're selling some bullshit. Because now you got to go read some books that they probably recommended. Well, you're gonna have to pay for those books, and somebody's making money on those books. I don't have a problem with someone making money, but they're making money off of bullshit. It's getting stale. Good stuff. Hello, Daily Dan. Cindy says the fires down in Amazon was to dredge the river of gold. It's a race for rare earth. Yeah, they're destroying so much down there. Donald says, gotta run to the store. See everyone later. See you later, Donald. Thanks for dropping by. Angel says, masters of using the background to disappear, not necessarily camo, but know how to use their surroundings to hide. Yeah. Well, heck, a lot of time you can just stand still and a human won't see you. Because we're just not being observant. But that's a normal everyday life for them. Chessford says, Cindy, keep in mind that books are written by man and the old writings are interpreted by man. Writers of new stuff know the ending before the beginning is written. Yeah. They have an end goal in mind. They have an objective to hoodwink some people. Prairie Fire says, I don't necessarily agree Bigfoot are human sapien, but it only makes sense to bounce everyone's ideas off each other in a positive way. Oh, I'm perfectly fine that nobody agrees with me. And every time someone disagrees with me, I'm kind of glad they are, because years from now, when I'm proven right, I will be acknowledged as the only person on the planet who said that they are Homo sapiens. And hopefully there's like a nice check involved, but I kind of doubt it. Sanders says, chessboard doing good, thank you. Yeah, mud fossil. Yeah, somebody just brought that up in a chat. Somebody I've mentioned here before. Someone I mentioned. Look. I really need to find some more examples of what he has done wrong. But he's slick. See, I know I'm being a little. I know I'm being a little elusive about this. You just got to bear with me, I guess. But the way he does it, it's really hard to find where he's done what he's done. It takes a lot of time. Like, you have to watch. It's just really hard. But I got one good solid example. Well, actually, I got two, but I do not have permission to use the second one. So I got one that I can show you, and I'll probably go ahead and just show it to you, because I'm getting tired of waiting because I hate liars and thieves, man. And this guy qualifies as both. Man. Cindy says, chessboard, I would say I concur. Chessboard says, Cindy, tidbit of info. ISIS burned over 1 million books in Iraq. Makes one pause and reflect. Yeah, man. Book burners, man. Yeah, you ain't hearing me say burn the mud fossil people's books, because I don't think we should burn any books, but we need to examine the mistakes of others and the lies wherever they are written, as well as the truths. Destroying archaeological sites too, statues and stuff like that. Religions I don't care about, like the cathedrals. I don't give a shit about their Catholic religion, but the cathedrals are beautiful works of art, and they should be preserved. Never went back. How long ago was that, Cindy? David Ann says mud fossil is a joke, right? Yeah. I mean, it's nuts. They're absolute, but again, it's they look at something, they say, how can I use this piece of evidence and twist the interpretation of what it means and what it is to mean what I want it to mean. I want it to mean the Earth is young, and that can prove that I'm not saying me. They want to prove that the Earth is really young, and that the flood there was this worldwide flood recently, and I've talked about a big freaking flood, right? Because the Younger Dryas impact, it permanently flooded vast areas of land. I don't know exactly how much, but it's a lot. When the sea level rises 400 feet, vast areas of land all around the world are underwater now that were once occupied by humans. And then other areas that are still above sea level now got there were tsunamis, and where the impact happened, I guess, like, because it hit in the glacial area, flash melted glacial ice on a massive scale, and just scoured the landscape. Like anyone and anything that was there got completely obliterated and washed out to sea, man. You got to look at Randall Carlson's stuff about that. He shows how, because all these flood stories from all these cultures around the world are probably all originate from this event 13,000 years ago. But it wasn't that the whole world became flooded because God got pissed off. It was because the earth got hit by a big freaking rock and created this huge disaster. And for people back then, a lot of them, not knowing that not knowing the true nature of the earth and everything, they don't travel very far and stuff like that. Everything that they knew was underwater for any survivors, if there any survivors that were there. Maybe someone happened to be fishing on a boat and by sheer luck they managed to survive the disaster. And they looked around, everything was flooded, and they maybe truly believed the whole earth was flooded, but it wasn't. It was just everything they could see was flooded. And flat earth is just stupid, says Daily Dan. Yeah. Yeah. Cindy says, that's just where I know there are ancient Bibles. I hope they were able to get them hidden or out before they are loose again. Daily Dan says, I saw that Mud Fossil University goof in a cave, and he said it was a giant's a-hole, and he was crawling up its colon. Oh my God, I fell out of the chair laughing. I know, man. I hate to send people over there because if I send 100 people over there, there's probably going to be one or two that actually buy into it, But I almost want to send people over there to just see, like, if you've never looked at some of the Mud Fossil University bullshit, um, well, there's an example right there. It is absolute nonsense. Well, the second episode, I think, Lockbeard Phenomena #2. I think it's a giant tree question mark. I think was part of the title. That was one of the things because they're trying to claim, because we talked about that during that live stream. That's clearly a geological feature. Any real geologist can tell you and explain how it formed. And but these guys are sure that is an actual stump of a tree, like of just obscene proportions. Just because this geological feature could, if you look at it, you might say, well, it looks like a tree stump. But it's not a tree stump. It's not a tree stump. Prairie Fire says, not to mention the ancient sites. Yeah, those mud fossil people are crazy, man. They are nuts. I was like, as if I didn't already know the guy was full of shit. Okay, I mean, he mentions that. But see, again, and that's an individual who says that Sasquatch mind speaks to him. Just adds to my case that the guy is full of shit. That he believes Mud Fossil University's bullshit. Only thing talking to him in his mind is himself or one of his personalities. Or he's just straight up making it up. He could just be straight up making it up. He's just trying to make a name for himself or build his channel because he knows there's a bunch of people out there that are eating this shit up. Fine, whatever. People want to go eat that shit up, go ahead. But look, I'm not interested in bullshit. You got to prove your bullshit. It's got to be at least fall within the realm of logic. You know, like if mind speak's a real thing, then you find me one person who can mind speak to me right now. I hear I'm sending it out. All right, anyone in the world, if you can mind speak to me right now. Where's it at? I'm not hearing anything. It's because I've seen no proof of this. We got nearly 8 billion people on the planet. You'd think one person heard my request. Or how about Sasquatch? Sasquatch, are you out? I mean, I'm pretty sure there's some Sasquatches in these woods. You know, I'm looking at some seriously squatchy territory out here, man. Any Sasquatch you got anything to say to me? Here's your chance. Man, I hate to be a prick about this, but I'm getting sick of this bullshit. So when I hear accounts that include Mindspeak, I'm like, they imagined it. There could be mental illness involved, or they imagined it. Maybe there were, something happened. They were having a heat stroke, exhaustion. I don't want to, tear them down and say, oh, this is a horrible person. I was just saying that, or diminish them anyway. I'm just saying a person could imagine this, but I guarantee you some people are straight up lying about it. So I'm more interested in accounts of Sasquatch that don't involve that kind of bullshit. Like Jay Fritz, man. It's just a perfectly normal encounter. Like he just saw a really big hairy dude in the woods chasing some hogs. Sounds like a perfectly normal thing for a big hairy dude to do in the woods, right? He's probably hungry. I mean, there was no mind speak, there was no portals, there was no freaking cloaking, there was no glowing eyes, there was none of this crazy stuff. That puts his account, in the realm of where I can consider it legit. Daily Ann says, "Oh my God, did you see the one about the giant dragon in the desert? It's big as a freaking country. That guy is total yes. Look, they see geological structures, and if they look like some kind of creature, they'll try to say that's actually that creature. That's a you have to ask okay, when you see an elephant in the clouds, do you believe that's an actual elephant? Because it's the same thing. This is pareidolia. This is pareidolia. Only I can't, like the dragon one, man. If they actually believe that, I mean, holy shit, dude. But a lot of the people that listen to him are believing it. I mean, it's just crazy. I can't believe that people are actually believing this nonsense. I mean, holy crap, dude. Yeah, yeah. Anyone hasn't looked at this, like if you like what I'm saying right now sounds extremely fantastic. There are people, what Daily Dan's referring to, there are people out there that are trying to say that a freaking mountain range, because it looks kind of like a dragon, is really the remains of a dragon. What I just told you is unbelievable. That there's actually people that believe this. You want to see something really unbelievable? Go actually look at their shit. The people who are actually saying that actually exist. That's crazy. Cindy says, I don't know why I'm about over it. About over. Are you talking about the people that are giving you crap because you don't buy the Nephilim crap? Don't worry about it. Their opinion doesn't matter because either A, they're nuts and stupid, or two, they're lying. therefore their opinion is completely useless and it doesn't mean anything. It has nothing. It has nothing to do with reality. You were the smartest person in the damn room. Daily Dan says on the Mindspeak thing, there was those guys who talked to goats, the CIA experimental stuff. Yeah, and I'm a little bit open to the Mindspeak part. It's just that no one's been able to prove shit to me. And how do you prove to me the CIA thing that the men who talk to goats was like legit? It's going to be hard. I need someone to like. I don't know. I think there's possibility there. It's just come on. And I think most people who are saying that I'm saying that I think it's within the realm of possibility that it exists, right? But most people are probably lying, or their minds are playing tricks on them or something. Cindy says, and there was generational knowledge with Jay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, again, a person can tell me any kind of Bigfoot story and tell me all that stuff, and they could be making it all up. But because he didn't tell a story about some fantastical crap, it was pretty normal stuff. Um, that helps. That helps. Give believability to the story he told. So, Daily Dan says P.T. Barnum said that there's a sucker born every minute. Yeah. There's Meredith. Hey, what's up? Yeah, I saw your message. What had happened was my normal channel Lockbeard is suspended for 2 weeks. I can't upload videos to it for 2 weeks. And so they deleted 2 of my videos. They deleted 2 of my videos claiming medical misinformation. So I'm over here, doing my thing over here, doing something, a little side project, which may be, and I mean, I'm sure you saw, um, uh, in regards to the convoy, to the People's Convoy specifically. There's other convoys going on, but um, doing a 4 hour monitoring multiple live streams um, in a late morning, midday until they get to DC, and then I don't know what I'm going to do after that. It's because it's not specifically a People's Convoy. Once they get there, it's a larger protest. Other convoys are getting there. A lot of citizens who are not truck drivers are going. Maybe possibly the biggest protests in the history of this country. So, and I'll probably keep those on this channel, but I'll move Lockbeard Phenomena episodes over to the other channel once I'm allowed to, and Lockbeard Random Lives over there as well. And they'll all end up on my Rumble Lockbeard channel and Odyssey and BitChute Lockbeard channels. So, gonna be here. Got it. Well, another 1 more week. I got 1 more week to go. So next Saturday, Lockbeard Phenomena will be on this channel, and then Sunday, if I do Sunday, I can start live streaming on the regular Lockbeard channel again. Cindy says, "Oh no, I haven't been around them for months." Good, good, good. Sandra says, hello, my friend. I have been thinking of you. Rusty's here. Welcome. Welcome. Meredith says, Sandra, hello, darling, and thank you for thinking of me. That means a lot to me. What's up? What's up? What's up? Everybody's saying hello. Misspelled your name. Sandra says, welcome to Rusty. Chessboard does too. And to Meredith. Meredith says, where has Mr. Lee been? Hi, Lockbeard. I figured that you got in trouble. I'm so glad I found you. Well, thank you. Thank you for coming. Mr. Lee messaged me earlier. He was saying he was going to come. So I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be able to make it, though. Cindy says, big channels don't get suspended like did for reasons you did. Think it has anything to do with the money? Oh, yeah. If you're a big channel and bringing money in, they probably let a lot of them get away with a little bit more. But I think they are actively trying to prevent channels that are saying things they don't like from getting big enough to become one of those. They want to filter us out, right? They want me to just fizzle out and die. They want me to give up and just stop doing a YouTube channel. Meanwhile, they're letting the people who say what they want them to say, they're going to let them just coast right in, which they're probably, suggesting their videos on the main page. Like my videos probably aren't getting suggested to anyone, guaranteed. That my subscribers are getting the notification somewhat, but anyone outside my subscribers is probably not getting any extra, you know, exposure to any of my videos. So they're trying to prevent me from growing that way. I've also just been watching them. They keep every so often they whittle off a subscriber or two. They just take people, and some of you have experienced, like they come into your subscribers and they'll unsubscribe you from people without asking you. Say, hey, you sure you want us? Why don't they let you make the decision? If that, like, if they try to say they're trying to inactive channels and stuff like that. Well, they can't say my channel's inactive because hell, lately I've been doing a video every day. Today this is 2 live streams, but I'm saying shit they don't like, so they're gonna try and squeeze me out of existence. Squatching Cowboy the other night, he was saying that he noticed that they were shaving off his view hours. And it's the same thing. Your channel has to get up to a certain number of view hours and subscribers before you can get monetized. And without monetization, you're not getting money back out of this thing. So you're just sinking money in, and how long can you do it when you have very limited income? The channel needs to grow. It needs to become a sustainable business, and YouTube is trying to stop it if you're someone saying the wrong stuff. So I don't know what the Squatching Cowboy did to piss off YouTube, but he's noticed that they've been putting the squeeze on him as well. Other phone died, Danny says. Just follow the money, says Prairie Fire. Yep. Meredith says, I'll be following you. Sandra says, Meredith, our Lockbeard all too well. Prairie Fire says, evening, Danny. Hope you're keeping well. Danny says, been here. I have 4 channels: Daily Dan's The Good Stuff, the Daily Dan blog, also Danny's World, and the one I'm on now, Danny Stanton. Have you noticed I'm putting any kind of squeeze on you to prevent your channels from growing, or have you not been naughty like me? Back from the store, Papa says, "Welcome back, Papa." You get notifications. Danny says, "I have a phone for each of my channels, so when a battery drains, I can just change phones." Get me something good. Meredith says, "Mr. Lee had roof issues with water coming into his house, so maybe he's been busy fixing it." Well, that, and he's had another problem. I'm not going to say what it is, but he may choose to tell you all. Prairie Fire says, "It's all about the brand." Yeah. Well, hopefully, Trumpy Bear's here. Welcome. What's up? Hopefully, the LOCKBEARD brand becomes world renowned. Danny says, "My Good Stuff channel just hit 200 copyright claim. Just hit 200 copyright claims." Yeah, that might be a record. Dang, what'd you do to get 200 copyright? It's probably music. If you're using a bunch of music, it might be easy to do that over a long period of time. They do not like you play. They do not like you playing music, man, for some reason. And that's why like I try not to play music other than because like you notice on my intros, or you'll see in the description of my videos too, like the planned channel or the planned shows that I haven't done even, and I may not do stock and barrel, or I may shift, like I don't know, it depends. But anyway, you notice like what the main source of my music's David Fesliyan, and I actually have paid for use of his music. Not much, but I paid. And so, I can use that freely. And so I just find something that he's got that I like, and I use that. But occasionally other music gets played. The other ones are free to use. Like there's music out there you can use freely. You just gotta search for it. But if you want to use like a popular song you like, you want to play some AC/DC or something, you either gotta pay to use it, or they're gonna smack you with a copyright claim. Which, they're just gonna take any profit off that video. I don't know exactly how it works, but they get if you're monetized, they get the money or part of the money or something like that. Trumpy Bear says, "Papa always has something going on." There's Chrissy. Welcome. She says, "I'm rooting for you." Thank you, Chrissy. You're talking about those Tarot chips the other day, and got that working in my head. And I was like, I ain't had those in a long time. So I bought some, and I had me some of them. Let me find a big one in here. Yeah, I don't know how easy it's gonna be. See, they have like I don't know how easy it is to see. Like you can't really see the color there, but those lines and those markings on it are purple. But that's a tarot chip out of the Terra brand. The original, it has four different kinds. There's 5 different, like you see 5, but the 5th one is like there's only 4 different types, because there's the Tarot, the parsnip, the sweet potato, and the batata, and then the 4th one's the red ones, which are colored with beet juice, but they're like, I guess there's some of these other chips or something. But it's kind of weird looking. Very crunchy and tasty. But, that was a taro chip. Meredith says, we will have to mention that on other channels. They are doing the same thing to a shitload of channels, deleting us and pulling bullshit moves. It's so immature. Yeah. Prairie Fire says, BitChute. Yeah. I got it. Actually, for BitChute, and I've mentioned it before, I'm sure. For BitChute, I put the links in the beginning of the chat on this live stream as well. I have like, if you get a BitChute account, you'll get a referral link yourself, so you can share your referral link out, and it helps you, or it might help both of you. It depends on which deal that you're done with. But there's referral links in the descriptions of my more recent videos for BitChute, Odyssey, and Rumble. So if you want to go join those, if you haven't joined them yet, anybody, use my referral links in the description of the videos, and then you can see there's these other video platforms out there. You know, not as expansive as YouTube, but Rumble's coming up. You know, for them to offer $100 million to Joe Rogan, I mean, they're coming. Danny says, movies, TV show stuff. Every time I show a TV show clip, someone claims it, but long as it's not a strike, I don't care. Yeah, if you don't care, or they take down the video, they didn't take down any video, which they ain't taking it down for, like, because I've had some copyright strikes or claims, and they don't take down the video. Like, you get an opportunity to alter it. Like, I've altered one. I challenge all of them. And most of the time, they like give in because it's fair use. So most time it turns out to be fair use, because you're modifying it. You're not playing the whole episode. It's clips and stuff, and you comment on it maybe, or it has something to do with what you're talking about. It's fair use, so you can challenge them. And you know, with 200, though, it's going to take you a while to challenge all of them. I don't know if you challenge them or not, but I do. I challenge every single one, and they usually give it up. And there was one I altered because they claimed on it or whatever, and I end up taking the sound out. I edited it because it gives you a chance to take it out, or take out the sound or something like that, and I just took it out. It's like, you know, these guys want to be dipshits because it was ridiculous. So why you guys, you know, just chill. Just chill. Gotta have to find me some, says Chrissy. Yeah, every Walmart I've been to, they got them, and they got like this one they had that type, and then they had that same brand, but just sweet potato chips, which are pretty good too. Papa says, "Ew, they're good, Papa. Though they're good." Meredith says they did that to a friggin' Steve's lady on here, new food channels, so they're effing with people any way they can, but we're too strong to throw in the towel, right, guys? Yeah, but I gotta get monetized, I tell you. Prairie Fire says, did Spotify drop Rogan? No, they did not. But there was that whole mess, you know, and I think Rumble just threw out that offer, just, you know, saying, look, well, we'll take Rogan. If Spotify's going to give Rogan shit, maybe Rogan don't want to deal with that shit anymore, and he can come over here. But he didn't. He didn't. Spotify. The reality is Spotify might as well change their name to Roganfi because they are totally, um, you know, Rogan's their cash cow, man. It's just they can't, just because their employees are bitching and far leftists are freaking out because he said something, and there's people making hit pieces on him because they didn't like something. They don't like, see, the medical information thing that got to my videos deleted and got me suspended right now, and that is what their problem with Joe Rogan is, because he's talking about that issue too, and they don't want you talking about that. They can call it medical misinformation all they want. They're freaking lying. YouTube is helping to perpetrate a lie, and they try to punish you if you tell the truth. Yeah, it's the exact same thing as with Rogan. Part of it is Rogan isn't saying one of the things I say. Rogan isn't saying, but the thing that he's been harping on is the medicine, the certain particular medicine, and they don't want you talking about that. Papa says, too quick, Donald, go back and get some more. Danny says, they only took one of my videos down. It was the Daily Dance blog. I was reviewing a Vampirella comic book, and I showed a naked cartoon ass. Oh shoot. Oh hell. See, this is what I don't get about that kind of stuff there. You can't show a naked cartoon, and yet you can go watch sex education videos and watch a penis ejaculate on YouTube. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then there's some stuff that's anyway, I'm not even going to say. But there's some stuff on YouTube that are like perfectly fine, that's a little racy with, kids and stuff, but you can't show a naked cartoon ass. Cash is king, says Cindy. YouTube will probably fine you for holding up that bag of chips. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people are afraid to like hold up a book. Like I guess there was some issue where you can't even show the cover of the book. I'm like, why would they not want you? If you show the cover of someone's book, it ain't like you read it to them. You showed them a book, and maybe some people will want to read that book and go buy it. If anything, you're giving them free advertising. Why the hell would they have a problem with you showing a book, like the outside of a freaking book? It's just crazy, some of this stuff. But Sandra Piper says, Meredith girl, I'm right there by your side. Cindy says, ambiguous. Yeah. Meredith says, Sandra, you're the best. So yeah, we kind of got off of Sasquatch migrations. But I don't know what else we can really say about it. I'm just saying that it's well within the realm of possibility that they do. Not saying that we have any real solid evidence that they do, but it's certainly well within the realm of possibility. It's just as likely that they do than that they don't. But I kind of think it's even more likely that they do, because they're not stupid. If they know they're going to be a little more comfortable if they head south, and I think they're perfectly aware of that, or if they have an instinct to do it, which many animals have that instinct, and they're far dumber than a Sasquatch. So I think it's very, very possible that they do and do it all the time. But we just don't got adequate data to say much one way or the other. I don't know how. Um, I don't know how. I don't know if it would take. It'd be quite a project to start compiling a bunch of, because I mean, you could go over to oh, that particular group that compiles a bunch of accounts, but they censor some, they alter the accounts, and it's not a good source of data. So Sandra says, Lockbeard, I never thought of that, but you're perfectly right about YouTube. Cindy says, yes, Sandra, the best. We got someone new here. Cosmic Kitty says, Lockbeard, you Ukrainian looking dust bunny, keep my name out of your mouth. Stop trolling me. Otherwise, police will be involved. I'm already blocked on my main channel here, you chump. Okay, stop trolling me. Otherwise, police will be involved. Well, I don't know who you are. Never heard the name Cosmic Kitty. I don't know why you're calling me Ukrainian looking. I'm not Ukrainian, but you're using it as if it's a disparaging insult. So you think you are racist against Ukrainians? Your name, your name out of my mouth. Again, I don't know who you are, and whoever you are, whatever. You're already blocked on your main channel. Again, I don't know what the fuck you talk about. You just sound like a troll that showed up in here to be a douchebag. Please call the police. I mean, you say I'm trolling you. I'm not trolling anybody. I'm talking on my own damn channel. So trolling kind of involves me coming to your channel, whoever you are, and messing with you. And I'm not coming over there and messing with you, wherever your channel is or whoever you are. Never heard of Cosmic Kitty. So whoever you are, fuck off. Go ahead, call the police. I don't give a fuck. I've been threatened with lawsuits from some other douchebag, and guess what? They didn't happen. You know why? Because they don't have a case on me. I didn't commit a crime. So yeah. GFY. Papa says, if they do migrate, we have the Blue Mountains, that bridge, the Rockies to the Cascade Mountains. Yeah. I've been warned. I don't know who you are, and so your warning's just toothless anyway. I haven't committed any crime, so yeah, whatever, douche, whatever. Papa says I resemble that dumber than a Sasquatch remark. Cindy says YouTube should take some lesson and look how Facebook stocks took a dive. Yeah, Facebook needs to freaking die. I was thinking about maybe linking up Facebook so that my videos go over there too, but I'm like, man, I've actively been just staying off of Facebook as much as I can, and it's been actually a good thing because Facebook is just poisonous. Papa says thanks, Cosmic Kitty. Yeah, I mean, technically, Cosmic Kitty's a troll here. So yeah, thank you for the little trolling, Cosmic, idiot. Meredith says, Cindy, we are pretty lucky to have wonderful people who care about each of us. We all need a little boost of happiness at times. Prairie Fire says, looks like Lockbeard's living rent free in someone's mind. It would appear. Danny says it's funny they remove a comic book, but yet I got away with a total nude on this Life Force movie trailer. Oh, did you really? Yeah, it's weird, man. It's all a mess. It's willy-nilly crap, and it's probably all fair use, but what the actual yeah, Chrissy, that's life on YouTube, man. Every so often you get a douche shows up and says some crazy shit. You just gotta laugh at them and tell them to GFY. GFY. It's not the first time someone tried to threaten me with legal ramifications for speaking my opinion, and um, I have an idea who that might be, and all I can say is you can't if it's who I think it is. If you're trying to claim that I'm engaged in slander of some kind, well, when the police show, I will show them the proof of what I said is true. And if it's true, it's not slander. So you go right ahead and send the damn police. Please, please do this. This is going to be fun. I will enjoy this. Jesus Christ. The schnozzles are just numerous on YouTube. YouTube, I guess. I mean, they might be able to get the YouTube police on me for something. But look, they've deleted 4 of my videos. They've suspended my channel twice. I'm weathering it through. But we can keep doing this, YouTube. I can do this dance. Meredith says, Danny, they're gonna see that now. Be on guard. The 2 police are watching. Yeah, I know they're watching. I mean, they're throttling my channel. So I have a feeling at some point this is gonna come to a head that ends up in the courts. It's like Pat was saying on his show is like, the First Amendment applies here. YouTube is not, it's not like I'm walking into their private building. They are using the public space known as the internet. They're also extending into my computer, and my computer is in the United States of America, and it's going to millions of other computers and phones and devices. The First Amendment of the United States applies for me, and if they are hindering my freedom of speech here, they have committed a crime. So I have a feeling at some point, in the future, this is going to end up in the courts, and YouTube is going to find their ass handed to them, and in a class action lawsuit. And I'll just be expecting my check. Because they're going to look at cases like mine and say, look, this is a YouTube channel that might have grown a lot sooner, and been sustainable and been a money making business. And you destroyed that through the hindrance of my free speech, my free expression, and throttling my channel. So I hope that happens. Screw YouTube. And if YouTube deletes me entirely, I still got my Rumble. All my videos are on Rumble. Most of them are on Odyssey and BitChute. They'll eventually all get over there, I think. And then I'm looking at possibly some other platforms of going ahead and getting onto some other ones maybe. But YouTube might be going away of Facebook at some point if they don't stop jacking around. Stop with their politics. Stop trying to censor free expression. Stop trying to censor the truth. Stop trying to be helping the media propaganda machine, because that's all the media is. Mainstream media is not reporting the truth. They are beaming propaganda into your homes. I guess we need troll practice, says Cindy. Yeah. Well, trolls dropped in here and fled immediately. So whatever. It might not even be someone we know. It could be just some random douchebag that just goes jumping on people's lives and live streams and saying stupid crap. Papa says, "Hello, prayer fire. I really spaced out. A really spaced out cat too." Danny says, "I have no fear." Meredith says, "Chrissy, you like that." Cindy says, "Exactly, Meredith. I'm all about that." Bridgeless Troll says, "Cosmic Kitty, leave the Lockbeard alone or deal with a real troll." And hi, everyone. Well, this is another. Who's this? I'm sad to hear you have no bridge. From what I understand, bridges are really important to trolls. Donald says, "I have heard this Cosmic Kitty name before. Have you?" Chrissy says, "I love Lockbeard." Thank you, Chrissy. We love you too. Papa says, "Hi, homeless troll." I like to bring it. Well, I mean, what? Just got to. Cindy Fee says, and as we could make them more money if legit. Yeah, have your own troll. We have our own troll. Yeah, yeah. Donald says, "Gotta be out of the DW camp." Yeah, very possible. Very possible. But I have a feeling I know who that was. I just don't. I can't prove it, so I'm not going to say it. But Papa Craig says, "But if it helps them get one more Democrat elected, isn't it all worth it?" Well, they think so, but look what they've done. I mean, the pushback is just going to keep getting bigger. It's just going to keep getting bigger. So they're not going to get. There may be a lot of change in this next election. Just saying. Meredith says, "Follow the food if they have to keep moving. I think they would, but if they are good all year long, they probably stay." Yeah, they could do either one, depending on what the conditions are and the food supply. And Christy says that's why they do that. If you're on a roll, they'll come in and bomb your chat with something ridiculous. Yeah. Meredith says, "Kitty, who are you talking about?" Oh, Kitty's attacking me. Danny says, laughing my. I just reposted that Life Force video on my community post because I'm fearless. Well, don't get your channel shut down. Prairie Fire says the DW Camp dimwit. Maybe. Could be. Could be connected. But it might be a reaction, something I was specifically mentioning earlier. Then if it's a result of that, then I'm pretty sure who that was. Meredith says, "Oh, getting rest again. Guess I need another vacation." LOL, not. Danny says, "After the last 2 years, even the Democrats miss Trump." Yeah. Well, they're trying to blame. They're trying like hell to make out like this whole Russia Ukrainian thing is Trump's fault, but that's so ridiculously laughable. I don't like Trump. I don't. Uh, but Democrats, don't be morons here. This has nothing. That situation, if anything, look, that was going to happen one way or another, sooner or later. Okay, look. Russia's wanted Ukraine back all these years. Okay, this was going to happen anyway. if Trump had any effect on that, he postponed it. Okay, he did. He you know, because he was being Trump in his ways dealing with, and so the only thing that Trump did in regards to that was probably postpone it. Because if Biden was elected when Trump was elected, then the Ukrainian invasion would have happened, 4 years ago. It's what it would. I almost guaranteed it would have happened 4 years ago, or maybe even a little bit earlier. Um, Cindy says, "Oh, DW," and now I know. Yeah, but I don't think it was DW. I think it was somebody else. But anyway, some of the same crowd of bullshit artists on YouTube. in regards to the cryptids. Danny says that channel only has 222 subs. If they took it down, I would make another one. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, Don says pray for her pretty much. Papa says, but wasn't everything already Bush's fault? Well, yeah, this is always going to have and both sides do that. They say, well, this bad thing happened during our party's administration because of what the other party did last time. Both parties do that. So, it's not like it's only a Democrat thing. That Bridges Troll says, missed a payment, ended up living in a national forest with the big one. Could be worse. Yeah. I guess you got to make payments on your bridges, huh? I never knew. I figured nobody cared if you lived under a bridge. Well, if you stay out of sight well enough, I don't know. If you're a homeless person under a bridge, sometimes the cops mess with you, but Cindy says divide and conquer. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And division will always form, anyway. They're just pushing it along. I mean, no matter what you're involved in, it doesn't matter. Like, you look at the Bigfoot community, it's divided. That's going to happen. It's just going to happen because you're always going to have people that disagree on stuff. You're always going to have some people that are kind of in the right on things and trying to do the right thing, and then you're always going to have people that are doing the wrong thing in regards to anything, politics, religion, just anything. And then humans have a end up wanting to fight over it. It's just the way we're built. We can't. A lot of people have the dream of world peace forever. That's not possible. Um, Humans just aren't built like that. And you can say good or bad about that. But look, if you look at the white-tailed deer, right? They grow these horns, right? They arm. They have weaponry so that they can spar and decide who gets to pass their genes on the next generation. Now, if you were able to convince all the white-tailed deer, said, "Hey, you guys need to stop having these little wars and be peaceful with one another," the white-tailed deer would go extinct like that because they need that competition with one another. They need to weed out the weak in the gene pool. Every species needs to do it. They have their own ways of doing it, and humans, in part, do it through war. We fight each other. The dumb and the weak get killed. Now, some of the smart and the strong get killed, and too, but in general, throughout our development, that's how it worked. Now nowadays, when you got these ridiculous weapons we have, though, it kind of changes things, and it could actually be going in the wrong direction in some instances. But you can't put the genie back in the bottle in that regard, though. We're screwed. We're totally screwed. Sooner or later, somebody's gonna hit that button and nuke some shit, and then it won't matter who's the most genetically fit. Cindy says, especially in San Francisco, in Pelosi's district. Christy says, my show is about good and bad tonight, evil whatevers. Yeah, cool. Well, I guess we segued. Meredith says discrimination lawsuit. Oh, you mean for what? For my channel, or for people YouTube discriminating against certain people of certain opinions on YouTube? Possible. Maybe I got a magic card. Maybe I could pull out my race card. I got one. I'm a member of a tribe. Does that count? Is that gonna freaking count? Somehow I don't think it will. YouTube, you're silencing Native American voices. It's all right. Channel will be up in about a week and back to normal. I'll still, push the limits, but I have to be more careful about what I say on certain subjects until this crap blows over. And it will blow over. Everyone will forget about the 2020. I don't know if I can say fraud virus or not, but they'll forget about it. Maybe and then people will look back on this time and think, damn, the whole damn world lost their mind over some bullshit. Absolute bullshit. Hope they all look back to the Lockbeard channel and say, damn, he was right about that too. He knew the Sasquatch were humans, and he knew that was a bullshit. The whole scheme, the whole damn thing is a scheme. Danny says they fear the beard of knowledge. I'd like to think so, even though it's real short right now. It will come back. Papa says it counts a hell of a lot more than my old white man card. Holy shit. Yeah, people will be laughing at that too. I mean, I'm laughing about it now. I've been laughing about it for a long time. I was laughing at when someone tried to pull the race card on me one time. They were trying to because I was in a position of authority and I was having to reprimand them about something and they weren't happy about it. And so they were trying to pull a race car and I was like, "Are you serious? Are you being serious right now?" I was like, "Look at my staff." I was working for a university. I don't remember what the percentage of black people at the university was, but it was way lower than 60%. My staff was 60% black. I was like, "Are you seriously going to pull the race card on me right now? Are you see?" And it just happened to be like technically one of them I kind of inherited, and then the other two I hired. I think is how it went down. Anyway, so I hired 40% still higher than what the university's population is. So by sheer chance, I shouldn't be anywhere near 40%, let alone 60% black staff, but I did. It just happened to land that way because I don't hire based on those kind of things. I hire based on merit, and then just a long look at this guy, and then he rethought he rethought his plan and dropped it. But I'm like, whatever, dude. I mean, seriously, whatever. You go ahead and pull your race card. We'll do this. Come on, let's do this. Cindy says, well, I hope when Nancy gets her park, the homeless people love it. Papa says, Cindy, they will. Um, Papa, Cindy says, Papa, that is white privilege. Yeah, yeah. I've been trying to find that where I got privilege. Privilege for what? It's like I can't even believe we're talking about this on LOCKBEARD Phenomena. But hey, but yeah, where the hell is this privilege you said I have? It's kind of weird, But every time, but they've been told, they've been groomed to do this. Every time you don't get your way, just pull out that race card. It's like a get out of jail free card, Monopoly. And now, for a while it was working with a lot of people, but now it's not because people are sick of it. They're like, look, this is bullshit. You guys are so full of shit on some of this stuff. Nobody's nobody's doing anything to you based on race. Nobody's doing anything to you based on race. But in a way, you're committing a crime against them because you're making a false accusation. Sometimes this does great harm to a person. And you're getting away with things that you shouldn't. It's a really weird time. Racism was pretty much a thing of the past, and it's like they purposely stirred it up. This is another reason why Sasquatch needs to be discovered, right? If I'm right and they are human, but they're just another race that hates the rest of they don't want to be seen by the rest of us. They stay out of way. Big hairy race people. Man, people be like, damn it, these guys are even more different from both of us than we are from each other. Why are we having these issues? It's just it might shut down that whole far left Democrat crap. Like they'll be like, shit, oh shit. There's another race on the playing field. What do we do now? What's the rule book say? Holy shit, there's not a rule book. Oh man. It's been a wild ride. Like I thought the whole thing was over, and then when certain administration rolled in, and then they started like everything was just racist this and racist that, and it's just horrible, and then critical race theory and all this crap. It's like everything they've done is to try and turn us against each other. They're so afraid because what was starting to happen is black and whites were starting to be like um our enemy isn't each other, it's the government, and the government can't have that. They need you to fight each other. They can't have you like being united and understanding that your true enemy is your corrupt government. They can't have that. That's why they started doing that. They needed to turn us against each other. They needed that fight to be in existence to use it for their benefit, the government's benefit. Cindy says, honestly, I have had aides of color that were for Trump but didn't vote because of the Trump haters. Yeah, they get pressured. They're under so much pressure. You know, they get pressured, and the media tries to paint things this whole different way, and it's just crazy. It's just crazy. Um, but there's plenty of black supporters of Trump and Republicans and stuff like that. But they were trying so hard to make Trump to be like a white supremacist or something. There was just no. Actually, I wish I knew. I need. Hell, I probably should do this on a random live. This is kind of the wrong subject matter on phenomena, but who was it? Judge Joe Brown. An interview. I forget the name of the show and the host. It was a black host interviewing Judge Joe Brown. You know, the black judge has a show, and the host asked him. He said, "Is Trump a racist?" And then Judge Joe Brown started talking, and pretty much shut that shit down right there by some of the things he knew about Trump. And he basically told the story that like just shuts down any claims that Trump's a racist. Just shuts it down. It's like, why would a racist do these things for black people they did right here? He shut it down. Judge, I mean, I'm sure you can find it on YouTube somewhere. I think that's where I saw it. It was an interview. The Judge Joe Brown interview. Judge Joe Brown was being interviewed, and he was asked, "Is Trump a racist?" And the answer was absolutely not. And here's why. He didn't say it that way, but Cindy says, "Word." Danny says, "When I was 11 years old, I saw a giant hairy creature in the woods, Bigfoot, for lack of a better word. So I spent every extra minute in the forest searching to see it again, and it took 44 years. Yeah, before you saw another one. Yeah, that's how good they are at avoiding us." And it's part of the reason why I think it is no problem for them to move up the river systems and travel completely across the United States. They could be going from the Appalachians to the Rocky Mountains, maybe go check out Canada during the summertime, come back south, maybe even go down into Mexico, you know, and then go hit Florida for the winter. It's that I don't think it's any problem for them to do that. They're really good at avoiding us. Cindy says, "I don't doubt it because I have heard others say he isn't." Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's still within the realm of possibility that he is, and he just did those things because it made sense. Maybe he just did it because it made him look good to the left. I don't know, but you know, the true racist wouldn't have helped black people the way Trump has. Just wouldn't. Um, Danny says, "My point is, how in the blue hell does people see one on every video?" Oh yeah, exactly. You got someone that's claiming they see him all the time. It's almost 100% that person's full of shit. Now, I say that. What if someone has figured out how to properly observe them, how to get past their natural defenses? I think it's possible. I think it's possible a person could figure it out well enough to be able to observe them. But right now, I just find it really hard to believe that anyone is in that category. People that are claiming they're seeing Sasquatch all the time and still can't provide us with any concrete evidence is probably full of shit. Probably full of shit. I mean, I hate to, but you ought to be able to come up with something. If you can observe them all the time, if they, they could try to say, well, um, uh, they're accustomed to me and they trust me and stuff like that. There'll always be reasons why they can't give us evidence. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm ever telling you I'm seeing Sasquatch all the time. I don't know. I just can't even imagine if I am seeing them. I ought to be able to come up with some kind of evidence. But of course, hair and footprints is probably never going to be satisfactory to everybody. I mean, they're going to want a body, and there's no way in hell that I'm going to be on board with killing a Bigfoot. No way in hell. Those are people, period. I'm not going to kill a person. I wouldn't even want to kill like a freaking, chimpanzee for that matter. They're just too close to what humans are. They're just too close. They shouldn't be in cages. I don't think a chimpanzee should be in a cage. Humans are too quick to put shit in cages, including ourselves. Nothing belongs in a cage. So, we should probably err a little bit more on the side of we don't put things in cages. I get it. We're not going to get rid of zoos and stuff like that. I'm not going that far. But I'm saying animals that are up to a certain level of intelligence, maybe we should rethink the idea of keeping them caged. You know, chimpanzees, elephants, dolphins, those kinds of things. When an animal, an elephant that you know that mourns its dead, like returns year after year to the site of its fallen family member to mourn. And we're gonna treat those things like a common animal and just keep them in cages and use them in circuses, and some of the horrendous conditions some of these animals have been put in. You can see them cry. No, we need to stop that shit. Meredith says, Danny, I'd love to hear about it. Hello, oops. Danny says, I see my interview on Brenda Hawkins' channel. See my interview on Brenda Hawkins' channel. Yeah, everybody should check out Brenda Hawkins' channel. I don't remember when her show's on. I'm gonna bring up the guide so we can take a look at that real quick. Sandra Piper says, Danny Stanton, that is so true. Oh, I missed that part. Donald says, Danny, I had two experiences, A and B, at the age of 13. Haven't seen one since. The most I've had since then was something mimicking a Jake break. Papa says, I don't know, Danny. Saw one in 82 and then not until 2021. Since, not since. Meredith says, Danny, I'll take a look. Thanks for the kitty troll. Cindy says, well, gonna head out early tonight, everyone. Good night. Well, we should have ended early already by now anyway, Cindy. It's past 8. But thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. Papa says, later, Cindy. Night, Cindy, says Donald. Meredith says, the discrimination comment I meant was for trolls. Gotcha. Night, Papa and Donald. Cindy fan, have a good night and take care. Danny says, I go on investigations every time I hear of a sighting in my area. I find footprints. A lot. I've had rocks thrown at me. I heard whoops, wooden knocks, and much more, all on video on the blog. Uncle Bone says good night. Let me see if that. Here we go. Here we go. So, you get that bigger. Bang. Guess we can see what else is on today's Saturday. Let me look at Brenda Hawkins' channel first. There you see in the green one at the top, Brenda Hawkins, Paracryptid Hunter. And her show goes by the same name. Is 9:30 p.m. on Sundays. Oops. I think it's the only day she does it. Yeah. So what's going on tonight? Central Florida Bigfoot. I guess he hasn't been doing his show on Saturday nights at 8 anymore, so I don't know. I don't know if he probably isn't on. See what else. There we is. Paranormal Portal, which I don't recommend, but I'm sure some people like it. Spaced Out Radio, same thing. It's a Woo Train. Talking Weird, don't even know if he's running this. I don't even know if that show's on anymore, but it might be. Not a lot on Saturday nights. UFO Man Live, 8 to 9, so he should be on right now. What the Paranormal, 8 to 10, should be on now. So, yeah, sorry to everybody who don't like it when we get off the Bigfoot subject and the paranormal. There was a little politics and some nonsense on, so, yeah. Danny says, Brenda Hawkins put up a video today, and I swear I thought I saw something. I don't know what, but something. Meredith says, Danny, be safe, and if you don't have a location device, you should look into one just because I care about people. Sandy says, the Lost Cryptid Conservatory tonight, right? I don't think so. Take a look again. Yeah, no, he's not listed for Saturdays, but he might change things. Like a lot of these might need update. It's a Thursday night and Wednesday night, usually. So, yeah. Bye, Chrissy. Thanks for coming. Uncle Bone says, thanks, Danny Stanton. We'll look at the video. Danny says, cool. I carry a big ass gun with me all the time. Chumpy Bear says, heading to Chrissy's when you go off. Yeah, I'm shutting her down here in just a second. Thanks for coming, Trumpy Bear. Meredith says, thanks for putting up her info to Danny. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming. Stay free and stay grounded. See you next time.